lawyers? Well, images of old penguin suits, wigs and briefcases, no doubt. But not this gentleman. Yes, he is a lawyer, but as an activist and champion of human rights, there is more to Edmund Bon than litigation and lawsuits. So today, we're laying down the law.
Like, what made you decide to take up law? Was it shoved down your throat by your parents because they're like, you either become a doctor or lawyer, or did you actually want to practice?
There was just like 4 subjects you could choose from based on what your parents would give you.
What do you mean?
So engineering,
Okay.
medicine,
Yeah.
law and accountancy. And when you did A-levels, you just did whatever you think you could score. But then after a while, when you spend some time with your friends overseas, you realize that everybody wanted to do law because it was the most exciting thing. So you just did law.
So you did
So it
law
was
because your friends all decided it was the most exciting thing to do, and you just wanted to be a part of the same group of people?
Yeah. It was. I'm actually an accidental lawyer.
An accidental lawyer.
Reluctant lawyer. It's the best times of my life, I think.
Okay.
Because I think there was much more freedom in the UK, and the way they conducted themselves and the types of freedom that they practice. And that's where you pick up some good habits and some bad habits.
Okay. How much did life in the UK impact you?
A lot. I think at that time it was the height of the European Court of Human Rights, where there would be a lot of cases, there would be a lot of new developments in human rights law. It was really, really exciting. They're talking about things like labor law, talking about gender equality, talking about LGBT, speaking about freedom of expression. So these things were rather new and was really exciting because it was a new, there was new space for you to carve out a new law, and that's something that was exciting.
Because of the people that you were linked with and because of what you were studying, I mean, was that the only reason you were exposed to this? Do you think the general public over there are equally as involved?
No, I think the conversations that you have over coffee and even reading the newspapers and the conversations about freedoms are so much more advanced there. And you see public assemblies almost every day in every different corner of the street.
Yeah.
So that really impacted me, and coming back, seeing how things are slightly more different here, I think galvanized me and a lot of different people to try and change things.
So tell me a little bit about the few projects that you've started running in 2009. You started My Constitution, right? What was that all about? And what inspired you to start that?
The My Constitution campaign is a campaign of the Bar Council. And I think we realized that our students were not really fully understanding their rights.
When you say our students, who are you referring to?
Kids Standard 1, they didn't know about their constitution, and we just repeat the Rukun Negara, Kelurahan, Perlembagaan. But nobody actually understands what it means. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what Kelurahan meant or Perlembagaan meant. So if our children are
what is
repeating
Perlembagaan?
That the constitution is supreme. That's the highest law of the land. So we wanted to start that, and we wanted to work with government to try and bring constitutional rights and how our system works as a curriculum for children. And so we did that campaign. We simplified the constitution, and I think that.
How do you simplify the constitution for kids?
Well, for younger ones, we do very simple videos and infographics. For children who are younger than that, we do cartoons and games.
Okay.
And it's just education. And if you don't educate your children or our children from young about their rights and about how the system is run, you will have apathetic society. You don't have a society that's a caring society. You will not be a developed society that you want to be. If you say our older generation or even ourselves have failed this generation, there may be some merit in that. We need to try and do something about what we...
Reviving it.
Trying to fill that gap, trying to help this generation now come up and try and compete with the world. All over the world, things are changing. And if you compare ourselves with the European countries and the Americans, for example, the kids are so independent, creative, they know their rights, they are very vocal about things. When you talk about education, you necessarily also sometimes have to take a certain position. So if books are banned, for example, you
Yeah.
know, you have freedom of expression.
Yeah.
You need to tell people about that.
Yeah.
If you're not allowed to go to a religious institution,
Yeah.
you have freedom of religion.
Yeah.
So you need to educate people about that. So people again will critique the campaign, but
Yeah.
you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's just about the education about the campaign. You
Yeah.
may disagree with the view, but as a lawyer, I'm conversing and I'm giving you this Article 10 or Article 8 in the Constitution, which says this, you know. So, and what does this
Yeah.
Constitution say? What does this article say? So that's what I'm just informing you about.
And basically make it relevant to people's everyday lives.
Make
right?
it more accessible.
Yeah.
Make it in layperson's language.
Yeah.
We got it in all the different languages.
Yeah.
Make it exciting for the children. So we've done the videos which
That's
have
fantastic.
different types of themes and stories to it.
So tell me a little bit more about Undi Malaysia. When you came up with this whole idea, what did you have in mind?
On the ground, what really was lacking in terms of empowerment. So you can be educated, but you may not be activated in wanting to do something to help the oppressed, the poor, the marginalized when you see injustice. So we decided on this holistic type of movement made up of 4 pillars about trying to get credible information, about engaging your members of parliament, and thirdly about taking action, not just about complaining, and how do you take action. Then the 4th one is getting together different people of the similar minds on certain issues to try and campaign to improve those issues. I think people start to see Undi Malaysia as the vote, and a lot of people are not really interested in the vote. But I think the word used, Undi, is not particularly just referring to the vote where you vote at general elections. It's about using your whole body to vote, using taking action apart from just that vote once every 5 years. It's actually about activating and giving ideas about how you can solve your own problems in your own community without relying on politicians at all.
Okay.
And the idea about our representative democracy system, we critique the system that it no longer represents the 28 million of us. And we say that there needs to be greater participation by the people. And the system doesn't allow that kind of participation. We need to have that kind of discourse. We need to start that kind of discourse and that kind of conversations about getting more people involved in a democracy rather than just your 222 members of parliament.